Greetings guys, Spexy here, and today I'm not a happy chappy. Now, I sometimes get accused by those who know me and close friends that I don't always come across as the real me on the channel, that Spexy is kind of an extension of the real me and they'd like to hear more of the real me coming through in what I do. Now, I think most YouTubers can fall victim to this from time to time, and taking on a persona of a character is kind of like people having a phone voice. It's not a true reflection of the real them. But let me assure you one thing, when the emotions kick in, or I'm involved or passionate about something, then you will hear it in what I say and you'll start to hear the real me. So right now you are hearing more of the real me than you usually do, and the reason for that is that I am totally pissed off right now. Now, if you're wondering what the hell's got me so riled up, why I'm so angry or why I'm saying the things I am, it's got nothing to do with Fallout 76. It's because of a thing called Article 13. Now, some of you may have heard of this, some of you may not. If you haven't, I can only say that this literally threatens the internet as we know it. Now, I would consider it to be the biggest pile of community destructive bullshit ever to be proposed by any government or political group in the world ever in human history, and that's no exaggeration. So what is it, how does it work, and who is it going to affect? Well, let's run through it. So, Article 13 is a European Parliament proposed copyright ownership protection policy that will not only affect those living inside the EU, but also those living outside of the EU who benefit from their current outlet or viewer base being within the EU. So for argument's sake, let's say a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer with a reasonably sized fan base living inside of the EU. So let's just say an American YouTuber wants to share his content with people living inside the EU. Well, much of his current content plus future projects may be affected by this and no longer be eligible for viewing in the EU because they do not comply with the Article 13 copyright policy. And this, if it happens, could lead to a huge drop in revenue for that content creator. Now, for those living in the EU, the consequences could be even worse than that because they might not even be able to upload anything in the first place if it doesn't comply. Now, it may sound easy, just make your videos comply, but if you listen on, you're going to hear a little bit about what is compliant and what isn't compliant, and it isn't as easy as it first sounds. So I believe that if this policy goes ahead, it will threaten the livelihoods of people living within the EU and also those living outside of the EU. Not to mention the viewing pleasures of audiences worldwide who just want to be able to access the content from their favourite creators wherever they come from.
Oh my God!
Now, fundamentally, the policy sets out to control the internet in a way which protects the intellectual right holders of just about any form of media that you might find out there on the entire web. And it proposes to do this by placing the responsibility of the content being uploaded to being 100% copyright clean, i.e. owned by the uploader or the content creator exclusively, and the site that hosts it is liable if that isn't the case. So for example, YouTube would be held liable if a said user decided to upload content which contained copyrighted material, and they could be potentially sued as a result of that. Now obviously YouTube's not going to want to get sued, and obviously they're going to try and protect themselves. So this could potentially mean that the uploaded content gets immediately removed on point of upload because it is deemed not to comply by an automated system which checks it. Now, this is way too much work for humans to do, and I get that, but leaving it to an automated system, I believe, is open to error. So therefore, it could see a lot of content being taken down, some of which probably deserves not to be taken down. So this opens up a whole big can of shitty little worms, trust me. Now, at first glance, this might seem like a great idea, and I'm sure there's some bigwigs out there in the music and movie industry that are currently rubbing their greedy little hands together in glee, thinking that they're going to be saving themselves a shitload of money in lost revenue from people uploading media that doesn't belong to them that they're currently not getting paid for. But for these people, I say one thing: stop being greed-driven wankers, get off your fat asses, take a big step back and a long hard look at the bigger picture. So let's take Fox for example. They may well say that they're losing millions of dollars per year on the back of unlawful sharing and uploading of the Walking Dead series, and while that's probably correct, Article 13 will not just prevent this from happening, but also prevent any amount of its content being uploaded by anyone except themselves, and this includes media which currently falls under the fair usage policy, which under Article 13 no longer exists in the way that we know it. So thinking about it, no reviews, no reactions to controversial moments or episodes.
Oh my God.
No theory sharing except for Fox's own official show, no parodies, no memes, all of which I would argue do more good than harm in terms of free advertising for Fox, which leads to more and more people to watch the damn series in the first place. So personally, I believe that as a direct result of Article 13, they would lose out far more than they could possibly imagine. Now hell, this video alone has probably already been in direct violation of Article 13 numerous times so far, and that's for the video clips alone, never mind the other media I've used. But I really couldn't give a shit right now because it's bloody important that I get this message out and I want to get as many people on board as I can. So if that's bothering you, Mr. Euro MP, well, go suck it. So what about the gaming channels? Well, that one's a little bit closer to my heart for obvious reasons, but without me actually personally owning the rights to any of the games that I intend to broadcast, or being able to provide legal documentation from the copyright holder that I'm allowed to share content from their game on my channel, it would likely be taken down and never see the light of day. And that's friggin' ridiculous, right? I mean, no gaming YouTuber is likely going to own the rights to the games they intend to show, be it for review, let's play, tutorials or showcase purposes, so they're inevitably going to fall into the category of failure to comply and be taken down as a breach of policy. Now, the big channels might get around this somehow by having a legal sign-off drawn up between them and the developers, but what about the small or hobbyist channels? They might as well just forget gaming as an option at all. In a post-Article 13 world, they're just going to constantly be fighting a battle to keep the videos uploaded. So, yeah, what's the point? And the same thing will go for music mashups, covers and parodies. And it doesn't all stop at YouTube either. Oh no, every social media site out there will be affected in the same way. So no more memes, animated GIFs or pictures of anything that does not exclusively belong to the uploader, or else the site that hosts it will be held liable and could therefore be potentially prosecuted as a result. Make no mistake guys, this will kill the internet as we know it. So, is it likely to happen? Well, if the politicians in Brussels get their way, then yes, it probably will do. But do you want to be subject to the heavily regulated and highly censored version of the internet that we know and love? I believe that could bring down and destroy much of the online social communities that we've worked so hard to build over the years. If this policy goes through, then I believe that most of the regularly watched independently created online media will be replaced with just yet more corporately owned bullshit that's already being rammed down our throats every single day at an alarming rate by companies such as Netflix and Amazon. If you like your content creators having a true freedom to create, if you value your freedom of speech and your freedom of expression, then likely, like me, you're going to be appalled by this proposal. But what can you do about it? Well, people have power. Maybe not so much as an individual, but if we stand together, we stand stronger. Our voices will be louder and maybe, just maybe, we can make somebody hear us. So make no mistake, this is an attack on our internet. Don't take it lying down guys. Join the fight back and sign the petition against this bullshit idea at www.savetheinternet.info. I hope that I can get your support and together we can try to stop this happening. Good luck guys and see you in the next one.